Everyone, and welcome along to the SRL round 19 of the Championship SRL PS4 F1 League, and it is the Brazilian Grand Prix live from Interlagos, Brazil. Well, we have a World Championship to decide today. We have got, of course, Shimasi, and he is unfortunately out of this session. He has put it in the wall and has retired from the session. He is fighting for this World Championship. The other man, his rival, is Prix here today. He currently has gone fifth quickest. Apologies for the delay. I have been a little bit busy the last few moments, but I am back in the commentary box and ready for the action. So we've got 4.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and it is at the moment Diego Killer on top with Shimasi in second, Julian in third, Cherry Tupai fourth, Pitmat fifth, Matt Meerkat sixth, Frisky CJ seventh, Jacob is eighth, Enrico ninth, Tiger Kart 10th, Tyne 11th, and Red Matt is 12th. So yep, Diego Killer on top at the moment here in qualifying. We have also got Shimasi second quickest, 1:19.3, so only 2/10 between those guys. Julian, who's been improving in recent weeks, showing again that he's got some serious pace in third position, and Terry Tupai in fourth place there. He's also been showing some reasonable pace of late, and it will be interesting to see in these damp conditions if Cherry Tupai and Julian can get in amongst the guys at the front, Diego Killer and of course Shimasi. And whether Pitmat can continue this World Championship on for one more weekend to Abu Dhabi and the finale. Shimasi, though, he has been good in recent weeks. He has, after a little wobble mid-season, it has to be said, he has really picked up the pace and ridden a bit of a storm, and now leads that championship. He's got a 26-point advantage going into this race, so if he finishes ahead of Pitmat, the World Championship will be his. As we have Matt Meerkat out of qualifying. Has he crashed? No, he's just retired. So sixth, and it will be no better for Matt Meerkat there with 3 minutes to go in qualifying. But yes, it's a 26-point advantage that Shimasi has at the top of the standings. He's got 246 points, and second, 220 points is Pitmat right behind him. So 26 points covering those top two drivers, winning 3 of the last 4 races, Shimasi, and it did not start in Japan. So yeah, basically 100% record from the last 3 races he has started. But let's keep an eye on Diego Killer here on the intermediate tyre, heading down the hill at the end of that first sector and now into that tight, twisty middle part of the lap. Diego Killer climbing up the hill, very tentative. I'm not sure if this is a quick lap from him. Julian's in the pits. Well, he came out for a late run. He's cutting it fine if he is. We know Shimasi won't be out again. As you can see on the left, he has greyed out there on the timing screens. Same for Matt Meerkat in sixth, as Diego Killer climbs up through the gears, and he is coasting round at the moment, probably winding up for a lap. So let's keep an eye on some drivers further round the lap. Let's keep an eye on Pitmat then as he goes through turn 3, which was the scene of many incidents in the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix in damp conditions, just like this. Several cars went off into the barrier down there. Pitmat, though, able to negotiate that with no problems, and he heads now into that middle sector and climbing up the hill into this long sweeping right-hander. And look at the understeer sliding really wide. He needs to try and find a time here, around 4/10 of a second he needs to find to get ahead of Shimasi and keep this championship alive for one more week. Where is Cherry Tupai? He's abandoned his current lap by the looks of it, so all eyes on Pitmat as he climbs up the hill again into this downhill left-hander. So here goes Pitmat towards the end of the second sector. We'll have a look to the right-hand side of our screens for the sector time, a 19.5 through the second sector, sliding his way around Junshao, and now up the hill and the rear end really stepping out on that Toro Rosso as Pitmat heads down the long back straight towards the start-finish line, swooping down the hill now. Here comes Pitmat for the line, currently fifth quickest. Can he improve? Oh, he can! Oh, it's almost pole. It is enough though, crucially, for second and ahead of his title rival Shimasi, and a potential opportunity to take the title to Abu Dhabi. Brilliant effort from Pitmat. He goes second quickest, so who can go any quicker? We've got Diego Killer, a 10th and a bit up in his current best. Is he about to dip into the 1:18s here? Here goes the McLaren Honda, squirting his way out of the final real corner of the track. It's flat out from here, swooping down the hill. The fans in the grandstand looking on as Diego Killer heads for the start-finish line. A 19.1 at the moment. Does he break the 18s? No, he doesn't. But he does improve by half a 10. So it's Diego Keller on top, Pitmat second, Shimasi and Julian have saw the flag, third and fourth. Jerry Tupai currently fifth, he's 2 tenths up on his current best and could threaten the front row of the grid here. Here comes Jerry Tupai, he's improved in recent weeks, he's shown some super pace. Diego Keller, 19-1, his section is over. Here comes Jerry Tupai in the Haas, down the hill for the line. Is he going to put it on the front row? Can he put it on pole? Here comes Jerry Tupai. He goes second and very nearly beats Diego Keller. 2,000s between them. But here comes the championship contender Pitmat. Can he put it on pole and Interlagos? He can! A 119 flat. And boy oh boy, we do have a championship battle here. We might just be going to Abu Dhabi, folks. The form book says they won't. This qualifying session says we will. And Shimasi will be a bit disappointed to see that. Is there anyone else out there improving? Enrico goes for the line and he stays quickest, I think, with that late effort, and indeed he does. But the big story of this qualifying session is that we have Pitmat 26 points behind the championship on pole position, a 119 flat. He's done a brilliant job to put the car on pole position. Alongside him, a half a tenth back, I should say, as Diego Keller, Cherry Tupai right there as well, and third, half a tenth off the pace. Shimasi, your championship leader, is fourth. He needs to beat Pitmat today to win this championship. It's going to be a struggle. Julian fifth, Enrico sixth, and it's Frisky CJ was seventh. Well, here we are then. It's a beautiful day here in Brazil, Interlagos, sunny Sao Paulo. And are we all set for a crowning moment in this World Championship? Can Shimasi get himself up to the front and ahead of Pitmat? It's going to be difficult from fourth place on the grid. We do know he has race pace though, Shimasi. Can he beat Pitmat and wrap up the World Championship one round from the end? But it's going to be tough because Pitmat today has shown what he can do with a brilliant effort in qualifying to put it on pole with his last lap in the session. It promises to be a thrilling race, and on top of that, we will have a mixture of strategies to be played out because they all did their laps on intermediate tyres. We will see a mixture of tyre choices. Will we see super softs? Will we see mediums? Will we see soft tyres? A real mixture between the drivers expected as they all line up on the grid, ready for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Will we crown a champion today? It's lights out, away we go, and Enrico jumped the start there in the Ferrari. They all move away from the grid. It's Pitmat leading, or is it? No, it's not. Diego Keller dives up the inside and snatches the lead away. Was that Shimasi damaging his front wing there? No, it wasn't. It was Cherry Tupai damaging his front wing, but it's a perfect start for Diego Keller. He leads the field on the run down to turn 3 and 4. Diego Keller leads, Pitmat second. Cherry Tupai was damaging his wing in third. Then it's fourth position for Enrico and Julian in fifth. Shimasi down 1 to 6. In the McLaren down 2 actually. Down 3 positions to 7th place. And that is not at all what he needed from this Grand Prix. And that really does already open this World Championship up. Well, can he recover from there? That is not at all what he wants. As we have got Red Map with his hand out of the cockpit down in 9th position, going side by side with Tyne, who's just overtaken him. So Tyne makes the move on Red Map for 8th and 9th. They're banging wheels again. Now it's Tyne who puts his hand out of the window. And it looks like Tyne has completed the move, and he is 8th. But now at the very back, you've got Jacob overtaking Tiger Car in the battle for 11th and 12th, but out in the lead. It is Diego Keller from Pitmat second. Cherry Tupai under a lot of pressure with that damaged front wing as he made contact with the back of Pitmat into turn 1. Down through the final corner and up towards the start line. Into the pits comes the Ferrari of Enrico to serve that drive-through penalty. It is Cherry Tupai still holding on to third, with Julian right behind him. Julian up the inside of Cherry Tupai. A late lunge on the brakes. It was a very late lunge. It was a beautiful move. And the Red Bull driver moves up into third place. Very aggressive, very late on the brakes. Sometimes criticised for his driving. You can't criticise that. That was absolutely wonderful. And Julian moves up into third place. Absolutely stunning stuff. They said he isn't clean, some of the drivers. Well, I have to say that was pretty clean to me, and it was a beautiful move to move up into third position, and Cherry Tupai left standing still. That's what I like to see. Late lunges on the brakes, and that gets me out of my seat, and so is this battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. They're all following one another. Quite a scrap going on there, but Cherry Tupai 4th, and look at that in the background. Who was that diving up the inside? Shimasi, no, Svedmat I should say. Having a look up the inside of Tyne, unable to do it. And Tyne holds on to that 7th position. So where's the best battle on track? It looks like it's this one we're watching at the moment. We'll go on board with Matt Meerkat as we watch in front with Red Matt attacking Tyne and Matt himself attacking Red Matt in front. So down towards turn 1 at the end of lap 3. Is there any moves here? Nope, they all follow with no changes to the positions, and Red Matt bumps into the side of Tyne, and in turn Matt Meerkat hits the back of Red Matt and damages his front wing. Not at all what he wanted. Red Matt might have damaged his wing too, it doesn't look like it, and now Tyne goes defensive. They go side by side. Can Red Matt go round the outside of the Williams driver? He tries it. That would be a beautiful move if he can. Oh, side by side, brilliant racing, but Tyne holds on for now, and Matt Meerkat in behind is just waiting for the incident to unfold, but he's already damaged his wing. As you can see, the right end plate has taken some damages. Red Matt dives up the inside of Tyne now in the battle for 7th and 8th. A ding-dong scrap between the two. Red Matt unable to find a way past. He will of the inside now. Tyne gets a kick of oversteer. Red Matt on the inside. Can he complete the move on the Dutch driver? No, he can't. Yes, he can, I should say. Yes. Through goes Red Matt up into 7th place. I thought Tyne was going to get the better exit. He did not. And through goes Red Matt up into 7th place now. Good racing there in the midfield group. Really enjoyable to watch as Shimasi now back up to 6th place from that 7th after a poor start. And now attacking Frisky CJ. What about Tyne? Is he having a look at Red Matt into turn 1? He is. These two continuing that battle. And Tyne loses the rear end, and that's going to, whoa, right across the front of Matt Meerkat, very nearly wiping him out of the race. And now Jacob is right on the back of Matt Meerkat. 1, because he had to take evasive action, and 2, because he's got serious front line damage. Jacob round the outside of the Force India. Will he try the switch back on the exit? He will. Matt Meerkat gets a little bit wide. Jacob goes side by side, and the Red Baron dances past up at the 9th place. Tiger Cup trying as well, right round the outside. That would be absolutely stunning. He's surely going to get forced out, and indeed he is. And Matt Meerkat clings on to that 10th place just about as Shimasi makes a move up into 5th place, and Julian dropping down somewhat. He must have made an error or been into contact with someone, and he's now losing a place to his rival Red Matt. Yeah, Red Matt steams right past Julian as if he's not even there and moves up into 6th place. Julian down to 7th. He was running as high as 3rd, and now he's dropping like a stone. But you've got to look at Pit Matt here. He realises Shimasi's down in 5th. He has to really go on and win this race from here. He can't afford to do anything else, because right now he's only going to take 8 points out of Shimasi. I mean, there's 26 points in it, 50 available. He really needs to go on and win this race and take 15 points out of Shimasi and make things really, really seriously interesting for the final race. But also interesting me and whetting my appetite right now is Julian as he attacks Red Matt round the outside and breaks very late. Can he try the switch back? He's going to get a great run out of there, out of turn 4. Now he'll run up the hill side by side, quite narrow this area of track. Can he go right round the outside? Doesn't usually work. But someone try telling Julian that. He's going to try it, but he can't do that, and he's off the road. That was never going to happen. In time, his fellow countryman dances through. Well, we might only have 12 runners, but the first 5 laps have been pretty exciting, and it just gets even more exciting as Tyne has a huge moment, loses his position to Julian that he just gained, and then loses another to Jacob, the Slovakian, and he moves up into 8th place. Tyne now dropping to 9th. Wow, breathtaking stuff. So Matt Meerkat with that damaged wing, is he now going to have a look at Tyne, who's clearly struggling out there? A big slide by him, and now Matt Meerkat is tucked right up behind Tyne. DRS will be open, and is this an opportunity for a rear overtake with that damaged front wing for Matt Meerkat? He's going to be forced to the outside. Will he try to switch back to the end? Surprisingly, he does not. Thinks better of it, and again ends up flouting the back of the car in front of him. And that surely drops all the momentum he had. Or does it? Tyne really struggling out there for any sort of traction, and they go side by side. Matt Meerkat on the attack of Tyne. Can he sweep round the outside? It's a tall order with that damaged wing. And indeed it proves to be the case, and Tyne holds on, but Matt Meerkat right up behind him then. No way through, and Tyne is safe for now in 9th place. Matt Meerkat might have to switch his attention to behind as Enrico is 7.4 off this group after serving that drive-through, trying to get back up into this little pack of cars. Pit Matt getting dropped by Diego Killer, but you do need to look at the tyre compounds, of course, which will tell a story. 4.7 between them. Diego Killer on the super softs, the quicker super soft, Pit Matt on the softs. But you've got to say, even with the difference in the tyres, that's quite a deficit that pit mat's dropping off. I would say if they were on the same tyres that the Eagle Killer might just be a little bit too quick for him. As Tiger Cat now continues to pile misery on Matt Meerkat and nearly goes past him, and Matt Meerkat decides I've had enough of this front wing damage and comes into the pits. But we need to go and watch Shemasi and CJ and Cherry Tupai battling over that final podium spot at the moment. Cherry Tupai, remember, front wing damage from the opening lap on that car. Holding firm at the moment, but CJ right on his tail and Shemasi also right there as well. And Pitmap will be being informed that Shemasi is making progress, I would have thought. The last thing he wants to see is that McLaren getting anywhere near him. I suppose the main objective for Pitmap this weekend was to try and stay in the championship hunt. It does look likely that he could do that, but now that he knows there's a good chance he will be, he'll be looking to take as many points as he can. But at the moment, it is not looking too good in the grand scheme of things for him, because Shemasi will only be losing 8 points to him here, and the gap will not come down by enough. So Shemasi now attacking Frisky CJ. Can he now attack Frisky CJ on the outside, on the inside now, defending. Shemasi going to try and go round the outside. Tell you what, this is a little bit reminiscent of Button's charge to the title in Brazil. Pure qualifying and and charging back to the field, and here comes Shemasi up the inside. And a bit like Jenson Button, he realised he could do the World Championship and seal it around early. Shemasi knows that too, and he goes past CJ, not without incident, and moves up into 4th place. That was interesting. And Redmat in the background battling with Julian, and is Julian through? Yes, he is. And now Julian attacks Frisky CJ, who's trying to get back up to speed. Man, there's no way for Julian finding the way past Frisky CJ, who arguably got squeezed out by Shemasi. That's one for the stewards, maybe. Doesn't matter though, because Shemasi now up into 4th place. Now I do know that Cherry Tupai and Pitmat are teammates in another league, so there's every possibility here he will make life very, very difficult for Shemasi here. So it will be one to watch. But of course, Cherry Tupai with that front wing damage, you wouldn't have thought is in a great position to hold off the Shemasi charge, the World Championship leader. But we will keep an eye on it. Here's a closer eye on Julian as he now dives for the inside, and look at the straight line speed advantage. Surely that's an easy move up the inside. He locks up the left front, doesn't matter, he gets himself up and past CJ, who's having a bit of a nightmare, and now loses a place to Redmat as well. So CJ having a poor couple of laps. Has he got damage? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. I don't know what's going wrong there for CJ. Looked like he was really struggling for any sort of pace in a straight line. And CJ now drops to 7th, a podium chance gone, and now down to 7th place. So the race now is beginning to settle after a breathtaking start, but the battle we do have to watch is this one between CJ and Jacob, and CJ must have seriously got damage on those tyres. He really is struggling. The back end all over the place in that Mercedes, and we'll find out here if he can get the car. Yeah, he's actually done alright getting up the hill there, but Jacob has done even better, and he's climbing all over the back of him. You would fancy Jacob to make a move here as they approach turn 1. Here they go. Jacob, CJ sees him coming, he goes to the outside. Jacob, can he outbrake him on the way in? Nope, he cannot. CJ goes deep, holds off Jacob. The Slovakian will have to try again, but look at CJ fighting that car, really struggling for any sort of grip whatsoever, and a pit stop has to be looming, and that's on the soft tyres, and that is quite concerning. Here comes Jacob up the inside now. Is he going to complete the move and take the 7th place away? Yes, he is, and down to 8th place goes Frisky CJ. Easy stuff for Jacob. Through he goes, and CJ drops to 8th. So CJ going backwards and not having the best of times out there at all, it has to be said. Well, we are now 10 laps into this Brazilian Grand Prix. It's been quite exciting in the midfield. A lot of changes of position, a lot of good battles going on. But it is Diego Killer in the lead in that McLaren Honda. He has a 7.5 second advantage over 2nd place Pitmat, who is of course on the soft tyre, the harder compound, but if you ask me, he's dropping back too much. I don't think he has the pace to beat Diego Killer this afternoon on race pace by the looks of it. Cherry Tupai behind him in 3rd, and Shemasi half a second back and forth. A real battle going on there, the best one to watch on the track. Then it's Julian in fifth, recovering from an earlier mishap, which we did not see on the camera. Then it's Red Matt sixth, Jacob seventh, CJ is eighth, Tiger Kart ninth, and Tyne in the final points playing position in 10th. So here goes Shimasi. He really knows about how important it is, and as I was referencing to earlier on, it's a bit like the Jensen Button charge in Brazil. He knows he can do it around early, so go for broke. You've got a reasonable cushion in the championship, so that if it doesn't work, you can seal it in the final round with a solid performance, and that is probably what Shimasi's thinking. If I go for broke, I can try and wrap this championship up, but it is going to be difficult though. He is around 6 and a bit seconds behind Pit Matt on the road at the moment. He does have time to get there, and he can pass Cherry 2 Pie soon, so it's got to be his mindset. He's got to be thinking, where can I get past Cherry 2 Pie? Is there a move on pretty soon? Cherry 2 Pie thinks about a pit stop, he decides against it. A little threat, a little tease to go into the pits, and decides better of it. Shimasi now within 2.5 tenths of the Haas car, and you've got to feel Cherry 2 Pie is going to be under a lot of pressure here, but as I've mentioned, he is good friends with Pit Matt, and he will try everything in his power to help him to this championship. So Shimasi, can he try the outside? He tries it. Cherry 2 Pie was in full on defensive mode there, trying to break the toe, and done a good job of that. So now it's going to be difficult for Shimasi to find a way through in this middle sector. Not many overtaking opportunities. If Cherry 2 Pie doesn't make any mistakes, he should be fine, as we've got Frisky CJ making a move on Jacob further down. And we've now got Matt Meerkat out of the race. What's happened there? He's crashed at the top of the hill at the end of the lap, and that is the end of the race for Matt Meerkat. Not a good afternoon at all for the Force India driver, and his championship faded quite a few rounds ago. It's a real shame to see that. So Pit Matt now running in second, Cherry 2 Pie third, and Shimasi closer than he's been so far. Is this the moment? Cherry 2 Pie is under a little bit of pressure. The TRS will be open. It is opened up by Shimasi. Is he close enough? He's gaining as they approach turn one. And is he going to have a lunge up the inside? He has a big look. Oh, and very nearly hits the side of Cherry 2 Pie. And he just about left frustrated for yet another lap, as we've got a pit stop from Red Matt. He's coming in on lap 13 of the 36. The one-third race distance is it. Shimasi tries again on the inside. Cherry 2 Pie over to cover it up again. Oh, this is going to get quite exciting pretty soon. We've also had Diego Killer in the pits as well. So Pit Matt now takes the lead. Cherry 2 Pie is doing everything he can to frustrate Shimasi. Where's the best opportunity for Shimasi? It certainly looks like turn 1 or turn 4. What I've noticed is in recent races around this circuit, turn 1, there's more lines you can take into that. It might not be the better overtaking place. It might not be easier to get alongside as it is at turn 4. But it just seems like if the guy defends the inside at turn 4, you get no chance, you get forced out wide. Whereas at turn 1, you can make a move around the outside. There is a lot of width on the way into the corner. And you do have the inside for the following corner if you do go the outside route. And Shimasi's going for the undercut. He decides very late for a pit stop. And I'm a bit surprised here. Is he going to go for medium tyres to the end? Lap 14, and he's bailed out of the softs. That's quite early for a soft runner. When he comes, and indeed it looks like a set of medium compound tyres going on. It is. So Shimasi onto the medium, and slightly surprised by that. So what can he do on those medium compound tyres? It will be interesting to see. Shimasi then out on the track, rejoins in 7th position. Julian behind him rejoining, and Red Matt also, that's going to be quite close with Julian, and Red Matt will go tuck straight into the toe behind Julian. Julian, of course, with cold tyres and brakes. So if Red Matt wants to get him, now would be a good opportunity to do it. He gets right up behind Julian, made the most of turn 4, and now they climb the hill towards turn 5. Is there a way past? And I think the Red Bull is safe for another day. So Julian holds off Red Matt in that little squabble. We've had Shimasi in, we've had Julian in, and Red Matt in the pits. Let's have a little look at who else is trundled out the pit lane. All those guys behind as well. Tyne and Rico both been in too. As Cherry 2 Pie now calls for the pits. Can he get his car ahead of the likes of Shimasi. Can he stay ahead? But he will have to change that front wing, or will he decide against the front wing change? I'll be interested to see that. He has decided against the front wing change, so there you go. Has Shimasi worked the miracle, worked the wonders? Getting his car ahead of Cherry Tupai. It will be important for the championship. Cherry Tupai now on the pit exit. Shimasi's going to be close, but I think Cherry Tupai has done enough. And he has just about get that car ahead of Shimasi and keeps the frustration boiling, simmering for the British driver. So there you go, Shimasi unable to find a way past Cherry Tupai, and pit Matt will be absolutely delighted to hear that. So Cherry Tupai doing a great job for his good friend Pit Matt. And it will be interesting to see if Shimasi will decide to make a move for it, because we know if he does make a move, it will cost him a few more points. Or will he be satisfied with taking this to the final round of the championship? I don't think he will. I think he'll be looking to go in for the kill pretty soon. So here we go, Shimasi on the way up the hill. Cherry Tupai just in front. Toro Rosso holding their breath with Pit Matt here, who's in the pits. But this is the battle we need to watch. Shimasi tries the inside, he's forced to go to the outside. Side by side on the run towards turn one. Can Shimasi finally complete the move on the outside? Cherry Tupai holds him off. Shimasi barges his way down the inside. And he decides, I think he was backing off there to allow Cherry Tupai back through. But he's going back to the inside now on the run down towards turn four. Well, Shimasi unable to complete the move this time. Cherry Tupai defended hard, and I think Shimasi decided, I think that was a little unfair. I better let Cherry Tupai back through, and indeed Cherry Tupai back up into fourth place. But there you go, that's what I was talking about. The move into turn one can be done on the outside if you're forced there. It is a lot harder to do at turn four. So what will Shimasi try now? Can he get his car to the inside before Cherry Tupai does? I don't think so. There is a good way to defend on this Brazilian track. Cover the inside off. But if the car behind does get a good enough run, even if you do defend to the inside, it is difficult to hold them off because of the momentum they can carry. Shimasi is close this time. This is the closest I've seen him, apart from on the previous lap. The DRS open. Cherry Tupai again, right over to the inside of the track. Shimasi might fancy a look on that gap on the inside. Nope. He tries the outside again. Cherry Tupai will hang him out to dry, and I don't see Shimasi fitting through that gap. Oh, he tries again. There's a slight contact between them once more, but Shimasi this time looks like he's going to get alongside, and maybe this is his best chance to complete the move. They go side by side towards the next corner. Is Shimasi going to go through? Cherry Tupai hanging in there. He's doing a great job with damage front line. They're still side by side, but surely Shimasi now has the upper hand. They still go side by side. What a ding-dong battle. Shimasi, oh, there's contact. Woof. Unbelievable, and somehow Shimasi keeps the car pointing in the right direction, and Cherry Tupai keeps his car in front. Whether it was illegal, whether it wasn't, it's up to you guys to decide. I suppose Cherry Tupai will say Shimasi touched him on the exit of turn one, and that compromised him. So as far as I'm concerned, that might be even Stevens there. You bump me, I'll bump you, and we'll compromise each other, and it levels out with the two of them remaining third and fourth, but crucially with Julian and Red Matt right there. So this is really helping Pit Matt a treat, an absolute treat. Especially if Julian fancies a look at the back of Shimasi, a look at mixing up with the championship contenders. Will Shimasi get aggressive this time into turn one? No, he won't. Well, he tries, but he can do no more than watch on as Julian now foams in the back of him. I'm not supposed to be biased, I am neutral, but I'll tell you now, I would love Shimasi to slip down this order as we go beyond halfway in the Brazilian Grand Prix and give us a real title fight going into the final race at Abu Dhabi. That would be fantastic. Will be a thrilling race nonetheless. And we are going to Abu Dhabi with a title fight as things are poised. But you have to say Shimasi would be the strong bookies' favourite at the moment for that world title if he continues on his way in fourth position at the moment. So Cherry Tupai started with Shimasi fourth, Julian fifth, Jacob is Red Matt is sixth, trying to get involved with this group as well. And Julian actually looking really racy behind Shimasi. He's actually looking closer to Shimasi than Shimasi is to Cherry Tupai here. And are we about to see a twist in the tail here? Can Shimasi deal with Julian on his tail as well now? DRS open, the DRS cancelling it out a little bit, so it makes it harder for Julian to get a run on the McLaren. Shimasi now, oh, he's got a great run out of the centre S through turn 3. This might be his best opportunity yet. Cherry Tupai defends down the middle of the racetrack. Shimasi's found room on the inside. Cherry Tupai made a mistake defending the middle of the track, you feel, but he's got away with it. Or has he? He's gone a little bit wide. Now Shimasi's on the inside. They bang wheels again. Not the first time in this race. Julian sits behind, waiting to pick up the pieces. Shimasi goes around the outside to help him try and seal this World Championship. He can't do that, can he? Oh, he looks like he can. He has the inside now. Cherry Tupai is finally defeated, and Shimasi moves up into third place and strengthens his grip on that world title. Brilliant stuff from the McLaren driver. He had to fight for it, but finally Cherry Tupai has succumbed to the pressure. His front wing damage is really hurting him now, because now Julian is climbing all over the back of him. Is there any way Cherry Tupai going up this hill can get back at Shimasi? It doesn't look likely. DRS open, but Shimasi surely too far ahead now. And it looks like it. Cherry Tupai with a very late lunge, and no, it was a late lunge to try and frighten Shimasi off the road, but no way through. And now Pit Matt really does need to go on and beat Diego Killer to the victory this afternoon. Now it looks like Diego Killer might be trying a two-stop, because he did start this race on supers and he has gone to softs. He did not go to mediums, interestingly. So Diego Killer trying a two-stop strategy by the looks of things this afternoon. Can he open out a big enough gap to stay ahead of Pit Matt? That is the question being asked here. Certainly one to watch, but Diego Killer certainly not wrapped this victory up just yet on that two-stop strategy, but I would still fancy him to beat Pit Matt in after that final pit stop. But it will be one to watch. Do not go anywhere, folks. We are keeping an eye on which way this championship battle will swing. It is at the moment Diego Killer in the lead by 17 seconds to Pit Matt. Shimasi in third, and a pit stop right now for Diego Killer would put him out in between Pit Matt and Shimasi, which would be great news for Pit Matt. It would give him something to cling on to. It would allow the gap to be reduced to around 16 points going into the final race, which again is not really that great. It would require a 6th place finish for Shimasi, with Pit Matt winning in the final round. At the moment it would only go down to 23 points, and that really is not helping Pit Matt at all. It would require Shimasi 10 or lower and Pit Matt winning in Abu Dhabi. But crucially, I suppose all Pit Matt wants at the moment is this to go to the final race, because in Formula 1 anything can happen, in SRL anything can happen, and boy oh boy, it usually does. But Diego Killer pumping in another quick lap, and now 17.1 seconds ahead of Pit Matt, and really stretching that advantage. Doing a good job. Pit Matt 10.2 ahead of Shimasi. He has a buffer, he has an advantage. 10 seconds lead. Says he will wrap up this world title. Oh, well, 10-second lead says he won't wrap up the world title, as you say. So here we come at 17.1 seconds. Looking pretty good. We've got a little battle for 5th and 6th. Cherry Tupai dropping off from Shimasi now with that front wing damage on the right end plate. So now Julian, you would fancy him to have a little look. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Why is that? It's Tiger Cart who's out of spin. Has he got a puncture? Nope, he hasn't. Just struggling to get back up to speed there, that was all. He is now on his way, Tiger Cart, back down the hill and back into this Grand Prix. But he must have had a little bit of a moment in the final corner. He's done very well to not take any wheels off his car for having a moment up there, because that usually ends in disaster. But he is back on his way, running in 9th position at the moment. The battle to watch is Julian versus Cherry Tupai. Two young guns fighting it out. Well, Cherry Tupai hold off Julian in the remaining 13 laps. He's done a good job to hold off Shimasi for so long. It will prove tough for Julian to make a way through, but he will certainly try. And if Julian does get past Cherry Tupai, would he have the pace to take on Shimasi? And there he does, and there you go. That's what I was about to say. Cherry Tupai letting Julian go, presumably to chase after Shimasi to help Pitmat. I was just about to say that, and Cherry Tupai had already thought of that idea before it sprung into my head, and he's let him through, and Julian's now weaving in front of Cherry Tupai. I have to say, what was that all about? Why'd you let me through? But I'll tell you why. To get Shimasi caught and help out Cherry Tupai's good friend, Pitmat. Now that would be interesting. Certainly one to watch. Does Julian have the pace to catch Shimasi? 2.2 between them. It's certainly going to give Shimasi a potential headache. Can't wait to see how that one unfolds. Back with Frisky CJ now, down in that 8th position, half a second behind Jacob. After dropping down, struggling on those soft tyres in that stint. Is there any way he can threaten the back of that Ferrari and climb back up into 7th place and pick up 6 World Championship points as opposed to the 4 he's currently on course for? Enrico, meanwhile, despite his drive through at the start, has got himself onto the tail of Tiger Car at the foot of the field. Certainly one to watch there as well. Enrico on faster tyres too. Is he going to have a look at the back of Tiger Car as they go down the hill? No way through. The advantage remains with Tiger Car, but they're going to climb the hill now. Tiger Car gets on the curb and loses the car, and Enrico is surely going to come around the outside and overtake him. They're battling for the wooden spoon. They're battling over the final couple of points. 9th or 10th. Tiger Car on the inside. It's going to be the outside for Enrico. We've seen this work a few times. Can he do it? No, he can't. He's gone off the road, over the grass, and surely that was a corner cut, and he'll have to give that place back to Tiger Car. No sign of him doing it, so that one will go to the stewards. That's a slam dunk for me. Unless he was pushed off the road there, my camera angle wasn't good, I'm not sure. But Enrico, nonetheless, 9th at the moment. Will it go to the stewards? I do not know. It's certainly one to watch though. We have got 11 laps to go. We'll wait Diego Killer's next stop. I would have thought it would be quite soon. If he was planning a set of supers to the end. Let's keep an eye on Diego Killer, see if he's threatening a pit stop soon. He has opened the gap out to 17.5 seconds. It's not been climbing up the way it had been. So it will be a struggle for him to open it out to a full pit stop's length. So we've got to keep an eye and see if he does intend to make a pit stop anytime soon. It looks like he's coming in right now, and he is coming in. So here we go. Diego Keller, what time will go on? Oh, is he going to speed? Oh, he is going to speed. It looked like he was way too hot going in, and indeed he has sped going into the pits, and that might favour Pitmat. It just might. Wow. I think Diego Keller will pass Pitmat here. Once Pitmat comes past into the lead. Or will he even do that? If Pitmat can get ahead, which he might, we're going to go side by side here, and Pitmat is going to take the lead, I think, by the skin of his teeth, and that is absolutely crucial for this World Championship. Wow. So even if Pitmat can hold up Diego Killer for just a few laps, it might stop the super soft runner of Diego Killer from building up a 5-second advantage, and it might allow Pitmat to get 10 points out of Shimasi as opposed to just 3. There's a real opportunity here for a big swing in this championship. Closing the gap to 16 points would force Shimasi to have to finish in the top 5. And that, I have to say, would be interesting, and especially if Julian could catch Shimasi. There's only 2 seconds between them. Here comes Diego Killer though. I don't think Pitmat's going to have much hope of defending here. He is going to have to try though and defend like crazy for at least a couple of laps to hold up Diego Killer. He's going to go side by side. It's going to be very, very difficult. Diego Killer, so much more traction, so much more grip. Easies pass into the lead, and the Toro Rosso garage, their hearts are sinking down there. And that looks like chance gone of taking 10 points from Shimasi. He could maybe even have taken 13 points if Julian had gone on to Shimasi, but no, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. And Diego Killer is on his merry way to victory now. If he can open up 5 seconds, I don't think there'll be any possibility that he won't. 9 laps to go. 2 stages softer. 10, 15 laps. Newer tyres as well. And I would think Diego Killer is now cruising off into the sunset and on his way for a brilliant victory here at Interlagos. The pit mat now second. It's all about consolidating that and pretty much hoping that Shimasi doesn't close in, or hoping that Shimasi falls into the clutches of Julian. But at the moment that doesn't even look like Shimasi has steadied the ship and opened the gap out to 2.9 seconds, so not looking good there. So the 3-point deficit. 3 points is all that Pitman's going to take out of Shimasi here, by the looks of it, and he'll close that gap from 26 to 23, and it will go, at the moment, to the final race in Abu Dhabi in Yas Marina. Next time out, be sure to join for that one next week. Championship, well poised, well set up in that sense. The fact that we're going to go all the way to the distance, I think it deserves to go the distance. We had so many drivers earlier on in the season fighting for this title, 5 in total. We had Pitmat, Shimasi, we had Stephen, Matt Meerkat as well in there, and who else did we have? We had one more driver fighting for that championship. I could forget, was it, who was it? Who was fighting for the championship, the 5th man? I can't believe I've forgotten. I can't believe I've lost. Who was the 5th driver? No, there was 5, trust me, there was 5. Matt, Pitmat, Shimasi, Stephen. Who was the 5th? Apologies to the 5th driver, by the way. But anyway, Pitmat, now look at the gap already. Lap 29 and a 36. 5 seconds pretty much already stretched out by Diego Killer. There was no way he was going to hold them off. And Cherry Tupai's come in for a set of super softs, so he was going to go for one final stop. And hopefully he can give us a little bit of action and come back at those medium runners. I think he might get to CJ before the end, but beyond that, I think he'll be struggling, because the next car is a full 7 seconds after he closes 11 seconds on CJ, so not looking good for Cherry Tupai, 7th at best, I would say. But Diego Killer has put in a fine performance, certainly a contender for the World Championship next year, given the pace he's shown. And lap 30 now out of 36, and he's opened that gap now above the 6 seconds that we spoke about. But let's have a quick talk about potential driver of the day contenders. Diego Killer on his 2-stop strategy, you've got to consider him. Great race from him so far. There's a position changes to anyone that is watching and would like to consider some driver of the days. I would say Diego Killer is a contender. Shimasi, not great, not brilliant from Shimasi today, but he has been recovering. I'm not going to nominate him, and Pitmat was on pole, so there's an argument that he maybe shouldn't be nominated. I fancy giving Julian a nomination, up 1 from 5th, and he made some good moves. I enjoyed watching his overtake into turn 1 on Cherry Tupai, so maybe Julian could be nominated. And maybe one of Red Matt and Jacob, whoever wins that little duel. Probably Red Matt up 4 places. So Red Matt and Julian and Diego Killer would be my 3. But Julian purely for his lovely move up into turn 1 and the fact he's gained 1 place. I thought his move was beautiful. I really enjoyed watching it. So Julian gets a mention from me for driver of the day. So good job from the Red Bull driver. Unfortunately not quick enough to get onto the tail of Shimasi and get himself on the podium. He was threatening it earlier on before a mistake or collision. I didn't see it on the stream. But it forced him down from 3rd place to 7th. And he has since recovered back into the top 4. And given he started 5th, it's been a reasonable performance from him, and worthy of a nomination for driver of the day given the move he made. So the Dutch driver doing well. Is they have a move there. That's Tiger Car unlapping himself on Julian. You don't see that very often. I don't think Julian's too bothered by that one. Or will he be flustered? We'll have a look. Red Matt is only 2 seconds back, so he will be hoping that that Renault has got some straight line speed and has got some pace to get away from him because he doesn't want to be dropped into the clutches of Redmat. Look, we have got 10 cars out there, they're all going to score points at the moment as Deagle Killer in the lead by 7.7 seconds to Pitmat in second. Shimasi third, the championship gap going down to 23 points and going to the final race in Abu Dhabi as it stands. Then it's Julian in fourth position, 5.4 behind Shimasi, then Redmat fifth, 1.6 behind Julian, and Jacob, the Slovakian, in sixth. Frisky CG is seventh. He's also in a race with Jacob. That might be one to watch in the next few moments. Cherry Tupai is eighth and on a charge on his super soft tyres. Ninth, Enrico. His race was undone at the start where he jumped it, but he's done well to get a place back on Tiger Kart, who's had a bit of a forgettable afternoon, and he rounds out the field in 10th. Tyne and Matt Meerkat both out of the running and out of this Grand Prix at the back of the pack. So let's have a little look at Frisky CJ, who is now hunting down Jacob in the closing laps. Is there any way he can attack and find a way through on the Ferrari? These two have been dueling quite often in this Grand Prix. Has been good to watch at times. Frisky CJ not getting the best out of his softs in the first stint. Potentially. Going to do a little bit better on the mediums and maybe get back ahead of Jacob. It would help him. So Frisky CJ down the hill. Can he get close enough to the back of that Ferrari in the remaining laps? 3 laps to go at the end of this one. Don Diego Killer picking up a 3-second time penalty, and that is not at all what he wants. How many penalties has he accumulated? Just the one on top of his stop course. That's 8 seconds worth. So they're hoping his tyres aren't dying, because if they are, Pitmat's only 1.1 behind him in theory. Is Diego Killer being rattled a little bit here? Is he beginning to bottle it? It's certainly a story if he does. That would be a disaster. Certainly one to watch in the closing laps. He is still opening that gap out to Pitmat. He just needs to take his time. There's no need for him to start getting aggressive and making big mistakes. He is opening the gap out without any issues. 9.8, a few tenths a sector. Diego Killer just keeps it sweet. He will pick up victory here in Brazil. Frisky CJ meanwhile, 7th, being attacked pretty soon by Cherry Tupai on those super softs. 6.8 deficit now. I don't think he's going to be able to close 2 seconds in 2 seconds a lap though to get there in time. He will though if these guys continue to battle. So here comes Frisky CJ. Closing in on the back of Jacob. Is he going to have a look into turn 1? The DRS opening that Mercedes. We know the Mercedes is quick in a straight line compared to the Ferrari, but look at Jacob, he's flying. Well, shut up, commentator. Jacob is flying in a straight line. Goodness me, that Ferrari's a rocket ship. GG not even able to get anyone near him. So now, down towards the end of that first sector. Cherry Tupai closing the gap all the time. Frisky CJ will be getting fed this information. And at the moment, Cherry Tupai, can he get there quick enough? I don't think so. He's not closing down massively. A few tenths a sector ain't going to do it. He's a second a sector at the moment. As CJ gets closer than ever on Jacob. You've got to fancy him at the end of the lap, if not before then, to make a move here on the Ferrari. You see him trying the wider lines into the corners. He's trying to get the best exit he can. Best traction. Will he try it again at Yun Sao at the bottom of the hill here? Here we go. Surely this time. Jacob gets a great exit out there. Jacob just no traction in the middle of the lap. Finds it all coming out of that final corner. And now the rocket ship takes off down the start-finish straight and frustrates CJ massively. And it's going to be a tall order to get past here. He's going to have to do it in the middle sector, I think. You know that. Doesn't look like Jacob has got any sort of pace in that middle sector. He's flying in a straight line, but what about this time? CJ opens up the DRS and still that Ferrari dances away from him and continues to infuriate him. Now, what about through turn 4 and the run down the hill? Jacob a little bit out of shape, CG with a good run, but I would expect that to cancel out. And indeed it does, because Jacob, as I said, has great straight line speed. So Diego Killer has started the final lap. We'll keep an eye on this little duel first, and then we will pick up Diego Killer in a few moments' time. But Cherry Tupai closing to 4.8 now, not close enough. He's out of the chance of joining this little battle. It is all about whether Jacob can hold off Risky CJ. But at the moment, it looks pretty comfortable for Jacob, as long as his tyres hold on. And again, a great exit out of Yonsao, and he clings the hill in control. And CJ will have to redouble his efforts on the final lap, but we have to go to that man, Diego Killer. In that McLaren, he's drove faultlessly this afternoon. He took the lead at the start and disappeared from there. And he tried the alternate strategy, the two-stop, and it has worked wonders for him as he comes down the hill towards Yonsao. Through there now, his teammate might not win, but Diego Killer sure will. The championship is going to go to the final round, it would seem. Diego Killer won't care a jot. He's done the job. He's helped his teammate Shimasi here today. He wins round 19 here in Brazil. He wins the penultimate race of the season. A Dutchman. And now we await Pit Matt, who is going to come round, and he's done everything he needed to do, I suppose, except win and hold on to second and ensure the World Championship goes to the final round in Abu Dhabi, albeit a 23-point deficit, a mountain to climb. It's going to take a Shimasi accident or failure to dethrone him. Pit Matt must win that race to win the title. Shimasi sees the line, he's third. I suppose he'll be relatively satisfied. He would rather have won the title here today, but I suppose it will do, and he just needs to finish 9 or better to wrap up that World Championship next time out. Great effort there from Shimasi, and now he is within touching distance of that World Crown, unable to wrap it up and into Lagos here today, and the nail biting will continue. The champagne remains on ice in the World Championship battle, but it doesn't remain on ice on the podium, because Shimasi will get some of that today, if not as sweet as he would have liked it to be. There's no world title celebrations on the podium this afternoon, but there is a celebration of a race victory for his teammate Diego Killer. He's helped him in this World Championship here today. If Pit Matt had won, it would have been a lot more tricky for Shimasi. But the bottom line is, the championship does go to Abu Dhabi. Be sure to join us next week for that one. Final round of the championship, 8:30 next Friday in Abu Dhabi. Every possibility that Pit Matt could still pull off the shock result, but it is a fantastic performance from Diego Killer. He has won this Grand Prix with Pit Matt in second position. Shimasi is third, and that confirms we have a 23-point gap with 25 available. 9th will do it for Shimasi in the next race. Julian saw the line 4th, and Red Matt was 5th. Jacob was 6th, Risky CG 7th, Cherry Tupai 8th, Enrico 9th, and Tiger Cat rounded out the top 10. Only 10 drivers finished. Tyne and Matt Meerkat retired later on. Well, that rounds off the Brazilian Grand Prix. Be sure to join us next week, as I said, for the final round of the championship. Will it be Shimasi, or will Pit Matt pull off the short turnaround and wrap up the championship? Be sure to join us next week, and you will find out in Abu Dhabi.